toDIYfor. So super simple DIY for you today. Just a small piece of decor that seems to be popular. Orbs, and you can make them out of embroidery hoops. So you'll need at least 2 embroidery hoops of the same size, some wooden stain, and a sponge brush. You could also use paint. This is the wood stain that I ended up using, in case you were wondering. It's called espresso. You can just put that on all 4 rings, and you can sand these down ahead of time and if you find that there's anything on the rings already. And I would definitely suggest wearing gloves. I regretted not doing that. But let the stain sit for about 5 to 15 minutes depending on the color that you want, and then you can go ahead and wipe off all of the excess when you're done. So this is the coloring that I ended up with. Not really sure why that one's so dark, but I'm going with it. You're going to have 2 rings that have the metal clamp on it and then 2 that don't. So the 2 that don't are your smaller rings. Start with those and then continue to add the hoops, the one with the metal clamp on the outside, as they are a little bit bigger and you can tighten them. So this really just takes a little bit of fiddling, making it into that sphere shape and arranging the rings how you like the way that they look. And honestly, you'll find that they'll fit quite snugly when you get it adjusted properly. So again, you can tighten that up to make it fit a little bit better. I did not glue these together. You could if you wanted to, but I am showing you a variety of ways to use them. Here I'm using it as a little bit of a lampshade. So I made a tight little triangle there for it to rest on. If you're going this route, I would suggest gluing that together to make it a little more stable. Otherwise, you can just use it as a decorative orb and it doesn't necessarily need to be glued. So it takes no time at all to put together, and it is very, very cheap to recreate. I actually found those hoops at the thrift store, and you can find them there. I see them there all of the time. It's just finding them in the same size. You need at least 2 in the same size because that doubles into 4 hoops. So I managed to luck out, found those for $3.99, had some wood stain already, so it cost me next to nothing to make that trend. Now, here is another idea. Instead of just having it as a piece of decor, you could also turn it into a lamp or a light shade. My sister did this actually in her house. She has it in her kitchen. It's kind of an industrial style look, and it has just one of those Edison bulbs in it to give it that extra industrial feel. It's hanging from her ceiling. Now, it is smaller hoops, but it looks really cool as long as you can fix it to the ceiling somehow. It might be another option for you. If you enjoyed this DIY, let me know, give me a like, don't forget to subscribe. I will be back next Wednesday with a new video. And if you try this DIY, please send me some photos. I'd love to see what yours looks like. You can hit me up on Instagram and on Twitter at Janelle Steeper, and then just tag me in any of those photos. Cheers, I'll see you next week.